Hey, what's up, everyone? We're back, we're here, and we're very excited. Episode 20 of the Pop Culture Corner. Yeah, episode 20, man. I can't believe it. So we're almost 5 months in, and episode 20, so if that makes sense, so 5 times 4, 4 times 4 times 5 is 20, yeah. So no, it's wonderful. Big moves. We've done a lot of stuff in just 4 months. We just came off of doing the episode at Showcase, and that aired yesterday, and I thought it came out really well, actually. Yeah, all things considered, it kind of seemed choppy the way we did it, because we did 30 minutes and then another 15 minutes, but we had the 22-minute interview in between. Overall, so Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be our spotlight today, so we'll get into how Justice and I felt about the film. Me and Jack talked last night about how we felt, so you already know where I stand, but let's also get Justice's no holds barred reaction.
So it's not gonna be like don't expect any kind of positive anything, because I already did that for the actual movie theater. I don't know why that's happening. I did that at the actual movie theater. There it goes. That's better. Sorry about that. At the theater itself, we try to reel in the actual talk of the movie itself. We try to highlight the experience, showcase rather than the movie itself, because the movie was bad. So this time around, I named my positives in that review. So this is just gonna be everything that I disliked, which is 99% of the movie.
Yeah, and I think it had a couple good, I wouldn't say good parts, but parts that shined a little bit brighter than the rest of the film.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll get into it. We'll talk. Other things that we have for you guys today. So I'll be doing some movie news. The normal stuff. I got a list of TV shows that are coming out in the next month or so, and we'll go over all that. Justice, what are you doing for?
Getting into gaming this week will consist of talks of Cyberpunk, Sony removing it from the PlayStation Store, everybody issuing refunds. I would like to talk Avengers. I know I'm late on this, but I'm in the middle of playing it, and there's some things I would like to discuss involving said game. And then also I would like to talk about Sephiroth being added to the Smash Brothers Ultimate roster, because that's awesome.
You had mentioned that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You had mentioned that last time. I think it was when we were doing the long Disney investor call stuff.
Yeah, it was. Yes, that's exactly when that happened. Yes, so I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk about Dragon Ball Fighter Z's game new DLC announcement, Season 3 Pass announcements, the 2 new characters announced. So there's a lot for getting into gaming. And then as far as Anime Anarchy, will just be first episode of Season 4 of Attack on Titan, because I haven't done that yet. Last week I did the the run back of the series thus far, and now I'm going to get into the final season review. So Ayo.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I figure we could start off with something that's not so... it's not important in regards to, movies or TV or anything that we watch, per se, but it is noteworthy.
Is that spaghetti seasoning? What is that? Parse? What is that?
Parse is
I used to love when my mom would make spaghetti and sprinkle a little parse on top of it before serving.
You're a ridiculous human being. Where is it?
Oh, my goodness.
Where is it here? Okay, so it's about Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, the possible MCU role?
No.
Oh, because I heard about that.
Okay, here it is.
LaBeouf. Just do it. Just do it.
Why can't I find it? This is ridiculous. All right. Well, anyway.
Anywho.
So Shia LaBeouf was, so his ex-girlfriend came out, FK Twigs or something like that.
That's her name?
I think it's like a stage name, if anything.
Yeah.
But she came out and she revealed, because they were together, they were co-stars in Honey Boy, that Shia LaBeouf movie that he actually wrote. So to put this into perspective, he wrote part of Honey Boy, I always say it wrong. He wrote part of that movie while he was in an inpatient for getting arrested, public intoxication, and like, other misdemeanors that
so
came
he wasn't
along with
in
it.
the best headspace.
No.
Whilst writing this.
But I mean, he was getting sober, so when you're doing that, there's a sense of clarity that you receive, whether it's the drugs that they give you to be safe. A lot of people write while they're there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's what he did, and he wrote part of that movie from inside the inpatient. Now, so she came out, his ex-wife came out and said that he abused her physically and mentally, and he's done this to women in the past. She also said that he killed stray dogs, but Shia came out and was like, parts of what you're saying, aka the dog, that thing's not true. But what is true is that he acknowledged that he had an issue with treating women.
Well, not for nothing, but, I can't name a single child star that isn't something wrong with them. Shia LaBeouf is no exception. No child should be thrown into fame in Hollywood. It never turns out well.
That's what Honey Boy is about,
Really?
Yeah, so Honey
something
Boy,
he can relate to.
Yeah, Honey Boy is loosely based on his life. He plays his own father.
Okay.
So, and then a kid plays him.
Yep.
And it's all about his dad pushing him into Hollywood.
Yeah.
Making him do these pilots or commercials. And remember when he got into Even Stevens?
Yep.
That was his big breakout.
Breakout.
It was all about things leading up to that.
Yeah, and that's never cool. It never works out. Name a single child. The only one who like doesn't appear to be messed up is Ariana Grande, but I guarantee that girl has some problems behind the cameras, behind the scenes. It never works out. Yeah. You can't take a child and throw them into such a world. They can't handle it. It's not cool, And a lot of them start at very, very young ages, 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? Just imagine that. Imagine that. You're walking down the street and you see a bunch of kids getting out of school and you think, oh, I'm going to throw that kid in Hollywood. They're going to grow up and things are going to be bad.
Yeah, so his lawyer...
I hate parents like that.
His lawyer came out, and me too, by the way.
I hate people like that.
His lawyer came out and said, okay, Shia and I are looking for some sort of treatment, some sort of inpatient treatment that he can go to get help to fix it. He acknowledges that he had a problem.
Need a therapist.
Yeah. So, he's trying to get help, and I commend that, but you still need to own what you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's still a reality. You still did that.
But he's addressing it, and they're currently looking into fixing it, getting him the correct help, which would be therapy in that case. If you ask me, maybe anger management. But is this a talk of are people talking of canceling him or something?
Yeah. So
you guys got to pump the brakes.
Yes,
seriously,
they do.
You got to pump the brakes, right? Every time, if you cancel somebody, every person, and you look into their past and see they've done something wrong at some point, there's gonna be nobody left. Nobody's perfect. I guarantee you got some skeletons in the closet. Cut it out. Stop doing that. Especially this is a perfect example of somebody you need to leave alone. He addresses it. He didn't even deny it. He denied the dog murdering thing, which I believe him for. That's insane. But he addressed it. He didn't deny her claims, and he said it. Oh, I've messed up before. I don't know how to act, and he's trying to fix it. Leave the man alone. Let him do what he needs to do. Let him get healthy, and then come back.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
But yeah, so he's looking for help, and we'll see how that goes. But to bring that back full circle about the cancel culture thing, so Netflix had this page of, I don't know, I can't really explain it too well, but it was a page that was like dedicated to actors that have done something good or done something that was noteworthy. So Shia was on that list that they had. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry about like what the list is, but from what I could gather, this is kind of what it was. Netflix immediately removed him from that list, and he was he was part of a show with Olivia Wilde, and they fired him immediately once this news broke. So, I mean,
before it's even proven true.
Right.
Imagine that.
And Olivia Wilde has this thing where she's like, it's like a clause on set. It's like a no asshole on set kind of deal. Apparently, Shia was hard to work with just from the jump. Yeah. So that's what they're blaming it on. But, ultimately it comes back to this whole story.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. It's funny to me that this whole cancel culture, I can't think of one girl, not one, that this has happened to. Not one. It's always dudes. Like, I just don't get it. What is your goal? What do you people want? I don't understand. Like, what is the end goal?
What do you mean by it's always men?
I've never
being
once
canceled?
Yeah, I've never once seen a girl be canceled for anything.
Well,
like, in these people's minds, it's like girls are perfect and dudes are just the devil incarnate.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what the end goal is. I don't understand what the purpose is. I don't understand like what you stand to achieve with this cancel culture, because nobody's like demanding they get help or like trying to like do anything. They're just trying to get rid of them and get them out of Hollywood. And then what?
Well,
like now what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so Gina Carano, she's in The Mandalorian.
Yep.
And she has a tendency.
Is she the UFC fighter one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. She's the big, bulky one.
Yeah. She's a UFC fighter. I believe.
People want to cancel her because,
really?
And this is, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So she hasn't been canceled yet, but people are trying to cancel her because of her political views. And
Imagine
I don't think, so what does an actor do? Right? They get paid to play someone that's not themselves. Why is her personal life have anything to do, her personal views? Everybody in this country has a political side to them, right? They're either left, right, center, kind of left center, kind of right center. Someone falls on that spectrum every day, all the time, their whole lives. Whether it changes is up for debate, or, not up for debate, but whether it changes is a different story. But she is more of like the Trump side.
Okay.
And she went out on Twitter saying the election was rigged, something about vaccines.
Jesus, she's anti-vax.
Oh yeah.
No. That's cancel worthy if you ask me. Oh, simply not because of anything political, simply because that kind of ludicrousy should not be in a big budget kind of Hollywood scene. I'm sorry, but if you're that out of touch with reality, I don't think you should be doing things. I don't think you should be in Hollywood. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Nick. I haven't seen my buddy Nick in a while.
Holla.
Nick Fulgoni, that kid, trooper. He used to go to every big budget, blockbuster, Marvel, DC, whatever. Him and I, IMAX. So we used to do Fuds with Buds, go see IMAX movies like Marvel films. That kid, great guy, miss him. We got to catch up.
Shout out to you.
Very soon. Nick, how did you feel about Wonder Woman? But anyway,
Anywho,
that was just what I wanted to start with.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf specifically. I think if there's ever a time like Bill Burr put it best, right? But like he wasn't speaking on cancel culture at the time. He was speaking on the Me Too movement. But it's the same thing. Like it started off like insane. Like for example, it starts off with like people like Harvey Weinstein, right? Like that guy needs to go, needs to get locked up. He is locked up, but like that makes sense. But like as time goes on and like you keep doing this, now you're getting to the point of just ridiculous and just silly. Like Kevin Hart, for example, right? He said he used the F word one time like 15 years ago, and you people are talking about canceling him. Like what? Like he makes like everybody. I don't care who you are.
I don't think that's how that happened.
Kevin, yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
No. The whole. So how that happened was, in one of his comedy acts, he has this thing where his son was playing with like a dollhouse, and he was like, or he said what he said was, and I'm quoting. This is not me saying this. He said, get that gay shit out of here, or something like that. And then he went on and on about how he doesn't want his son to be gay. And that's what they brought back, and that's why he wasn't allowed to host the Oscars.
I guarantee. Well, okay, so
but it was in a comedy act.
Yeah, well, okay, real quick. So, one, I specifically recall him mentioning a tweet involving the same kind of thing, right? I've seen his comedy acts a million times over. I can repeat these things to you. That specific
I love
one,
Kevin.
Me too. That specific one, I don't recall, but I do recall him specifically saying, that I have no problem with gay people, but as a heterosexual male, if I can prevent my son from being gay, I will. That's essentially what he said, word for word. Mm-hmm. Cry me a river, like that. That's not cancel worthy. That's not like, first of all, Kevin Hart ain't going nowhere. No matter what you guys say, no matter what you do, it's too late. You wanted him gone. You should have did that 10 years ago. It's too late. He's here. But you guys, like, again, what is your end goal? What is the goal here? I don't understand. Who do you think, like, give me an example of somebody who's like meets up to your standards.
All right. Maybe we should actually. So we're gonna continue this talk on Black Label tonight.
Yeah, that's a good Black Label talk.
I do think this is a good Black Label talk. So
I could go on for days about this.
Yeah. So let's move on from it now, but we'll pick it up on Black Label. Our late night live show. After we do our main show, we always do Black Label right after, live from the comfort of our couch. Yeah. So that'll be fun. It's a good talk.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I could go for hours. So
yeah. So we're gonna do it different today. We're gonna start with Anime Anarchy.
Smash, boom, Hulk, smash. All right, all right, so this week I started. Matter of fact, I just watched it too. I did that on purpose. So, okay, first and foremost, I did this on purpose. So there is no spoilers. You guys can't tell me. Like, I gave you ample time, right? Because they're already on like episode 4, and I'm just now starting the season review. Attack on Titan. Yes,
I've been hearing a lot about this show
because it's an excellent, like, you're gonna die, this hopelessness, and it's captivating. So season 4 starts off in like a flashback kind of thing. It doesn't start off with our main heroes. It's starting off in the Great Titan War, which we've heard about in the past and like mentions of and whatnot, but we never actually seen it. So they're showing us that and what happens in this war, right? So the beginning scene is just kind of like midst combat, right? And it's like, I like to see this. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, visually, it's cool and like entertaining, but it's not really necessary, right? Like, it almost seems as if like that there isn't enough of the actual story to run on an entire season, so they have to dedicate, what I'm assuming is going to be at least 3 episodes of nothing but flashbacks. You see what I'm saying? But it kind of gives you like a like things that have been described to us before, visually seeing it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes it clearer. So it does serve its purpose. And again, it's cool to look at and cool to watch. But thus far, like, we're not really getting any, like, anything substantial is coming from this. You see what I'm saying? Because they're flashbacks at the end of the day. And no, thus far, I mean, in this first episode, you know, it's only the first episode, so more could happen down the line. But as of right now, it's really just like kind of action oriented and kind of explaining to you how the 9 Titans kind of work and who they were beforehand, and kind of, you know, putting together the puzzle that is the entire story. So it opens up, we get introduced to a couple of new characters. Now, I wasn't very happy with this. Like, expedition is always like a hard thing to do correctly, you know what I'm saying? So like the opening scene is a soldier by the name of Falco, which is an awesome name, mind you, and he gets like hit in the head, right? He like falls, he bumps his head, so now he has amnesia, right? And he has like amnesia up to the point that we don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, he remembers everything except for what they need to explain to us, right? Which is just lazy writing, if you ask me, but whatever. So she comes up, oh, I don't know who you guys are, what's happening. So she explains where we are, what's going on right now. They're in the middle of combat. They've been fighting this war for the past 4 years, and this is the final conflict, hoping to resolve said war, which does happen. Now, what I don't really understand is like it's normal people essentially versus people who have Titans on their side. So I'm not really understanding like how like the normal people could even fight this war, right? Because like Titans, it's like picture like the Justice League versus the American Army. Like, you're gonna lose. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's kind of like that. So I'm not really understanding like how they even put up a fight for the past 4 years to begin with. But it's again, guys, like, this episode really doesn't serve any purpose. It's really just more like entertaining wise. Like, you know, a couple of small answers we get, and like, oh, okay, that's what that was. But it's nothing of significance. Nothing really that special is happening yet.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going as time goes on. I'm thinking, so based off of how this episode was, I'm thinking for the future, I might do 2 episodes at a time, simply because nothing happened in this first episode, really, that's worth mentioning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. That show, every time you talk about it, it sounds better and better.
It is. It's an excellent series. I'm not doing it justice explaining it, mind you. Just said my own name. I'm not like watching this show it's like I could never describe it in words the way it actually like hits you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't, if I was to ever recommend a normie an anime, it's Attack on Titan.
Interesting. Are you done?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna do 2 episodes at a time, if they unless like something of significance actually happens, because this first episode was kind of lackluster, if you ask me.
Okay. I mean, it's the beginning of the season still, right?
Yeah. No,
so
this first episode.
Build up.
Yeah.
That was the first episode
of this season, correct?
Well, they said it was the 4th.
No. They're up to the 4th. And I did that on purpose, so that way there's no like, oh, you ruined this for me. Oh, like, they're already 4 episodes in. I'm talking about an episode that came out 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So you can't tell me that you haven't had ample time to watch this. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. All right, guys. So that was Anime Anarchy.
My legs.
But yeah, so I like the graphics that I put up this time.
Yeah.
Last time, so I'm gonna keep those. Those are good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's jump into some movie news. So Tessa Thompson shared an update on Thor: Love and Thunder. So the cast and crew, they're in pre-production, right? And they're down in Sydney, down under.
Shrimp on the bobby.
Shrimp on the bobby.
I can't do accents to save my life.
Got the shrimp on the bobby. But they're down in Sydney, and she's going to be headed there in a couple weeks to join the cast and crew and get to work on this movie. Most of the details on Thor and Love and Thunder are very, very, very unclear. Not a lot about this movie is known. However, the things that we do know are Natalie Portman's returning as Jane Foster, and she will wield Mjolnir. She has not been confirmed to be Thor. Like, she takes over.
Yeah.
That's not confirmed yet, because that, I'm
We're
sure
leading
that's
up
going to
to
be.
it. It's going to happen.
I'm sure that's going to be a big pivotal moment in the film. So I wouldn't really go saying that.
Yeah.
I would, like, you can give everyone context clues. Like, okay, yeah, she's going to wield the hammer. What does that usually mean? Usually means she's going to take up the mantle.
Yeah.
At least for one movie.
Yep.
So I think they're going to leave that and keep that, like, close to the vest, so that when you see it on screen, it's the first time, blah, 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 blah. But Tessa did say, and, she said the soundtrack in this movie is she said it's hands down going to be the best soundtrack in any film ever.
All right. Okay. One, what a pointless thing to tell us about. That's all you can. That's it. So you can tell Disney's really trying to keep a lot under wraps about this movie. If that's the only thing she mentioned, the soundtrack. I don't care about the soundtrack. I want to know what happens in the movie.
I care about the score.
I couldn't. I like. Don't get it twisted. Like I love a good score in my movies, but like, leading up to a movie and like information you give us, the last thing I'm worried about is the soundtrack. I want some casting news, some like cameo news, not the soundtrack.
I know.
They're really trying to keep this under wrap. Clearly,
I said the same thing. All right. So our friends at Cinema Blend,
sounds nice. Got a nice ring to it. Yeah, a nice ring to it.
Our friends at Cinema Blend wrote the article, and I laughed because what they said after was kind of funny. They were like, and they were being serious. I thought it was funny that they said this. They were like, and there's a quote from her, but it basically, I summed it up to say the score is going to be the best, right? And but a paragraph after that, Cinema Blend says, I'm sure fans will, start creating theories and fan theories out of her statement. I was like,
the soundtrack?
What do you mean? What do you mean they're going to create fan theories from that?
Imagine going to Comic-Con and they have this whole panel for Thor Love and Thunder, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
It's like the announcement of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'd be very mad. I'd be very mad.
Oh man. But yeah, so I thought that was, so that's that. But Tessa Thompson.
Do we have
I guess the real thing to get out of this is it's gonna have a good soundtrack, and she's about to head to Sydney in a couple weeks, and filming will be really. She's the king or queen of Asgard.
Yep.
So, she's gonna have a really meaty role.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Her joining the cast in 2 weeks means that a lot of the primary filming is going to start in the next couple weeks. This is supposed to
release in 2022, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So, we're not getting any info on this movie for some time.
No, we don't need it yet.
What's surprising to me, because, like, it's supposed to release relatively soon, and we've gotten little to nothing about Shang-Chi.
I know.
Like, they're doing no kind of promotion, no nothing. Like, the only reason I even know about this movie is because I specifically go looking for MCU news. You know what I'm saying? Like, they seem to not be pushing this movie at all, and I really don't understand why.
Right.
Like, you should be pushing this heavy because nobody knows who he is. So you should really be throwing this in our face. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised we haven't got a trailer yet for it.
Yeah. You know how Marvel and Disney are, though.
As well as Eternals. Same
I would
thing.
love to see some Eternals footage and get that.
Yeah.
Get a feel for what the movie's going to be like.
Yeah. I know nothing of either one of these movies. The only thing I know about Shang-Chi is that we'll see Mandalorian. Oh my God. Why am I drawing a blank? Tony's enemy. Tony's arch enemy. He was in Iron Man 3. Why?
What are you talking about?
That Iron Man's enemy. He's in Iron Man 3. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? I almost called him Mandalorian.
I know, it kind of sounds like that. That's why.
It does.
Now you got me all confused.
Imagine that. Brain fart at its finest. I can't think of his name.
Now you pushed it on me.
Yeah, I can't. What is his name? Oh, my God. Oh, well. The only thing I know is that he will be Shang-Chi's enemy. That's it. That's all I know about this movie. They haven't given me any kind of behind the scenes, anything. I know, like, who the actors are, and that's about it. Why? That should be right at the beginning of the page.
Yeah. All right, well, keep going.
So, I think the MCU is not really like I don't understand why they're not pushing these movies, but they should be pushing these movies because I've heard nothing of them. I don't know what this movie is about, what's going to take place. Like we have faint ideas of Eternals, right? Like a big part of Eternals will be explaining Celestials and introducing them and introducing kind of cosmic beings and the whole that aspect of Marvel. So I'm excited for that. Maybe Thor Love and Thunder will touch into that because the closest thing as of right now that we have to cosmic is Thor, and maybe the Guardians. They kind of fall in that category too. But
the Mandarin.
Mandarin, there it is. The Mandarin.
I was saying, it didn't pop up.
No, it didn't at all. Imagine that.
The Mandarin.
Imagine
Mandalorian,
that.
Mandarin.
Yeah, imagine that. How did I forget his name? That's what I was trying to say. He's the only thing I know that will be a part of Shang-Chi. Is like
the real Mandarin.
One. Yes, the real Mandarin with the rings, the whole nine.
The legend of the 10 rings.
Yeah.
Obviously is going to bring the Mandarin in there.
I don't understand why they haven't.
And then for Eternals, we know kind of when it takes place, and we know who's playing who.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. So they've been keeping these movies so close.
Yeah.
So close to the chest that it hurts me.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
we
and,
with the investor call, we should have got at least one trailer.
I'm so interested.
Yeah,
I would really want to know what's going on.
I want to see a trailer for Shang-Chi more than anything because I have no idea what this movie is gonna be like. I have no idea where it'll be placed, the time, anything. I know nothing of this movie, and so I would like a trailer. Yeah,
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
God forbid.
So here's a cool theory about Doctor Strange. So a theory about Spider-Man 3 has been making the rounds, as always, right? Spider-Man 3
won't end.
It just has, rumor upon rumor upon rumor upon rumor.
If all of this was true, this movie would be about 4 hours long.
But this one is kind of cool. So, do you remember Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and when Doc Ock was J. Jonah Jameson was trying to give a name to Doc Ock so that they could use it for the paper.
Yeah.
Amongst them trying to figure out a name, one of the staff members says, "Oh, what about Doctor Strange?"
Yeah, I remember that.
J. Jonah Jameson says, "Oh, that's awesome, but it's already taken."
Yeah.
So kind of confirming that Doctor Strange existed in some way,
shape, or form.
Yeah. In some form, alongside that canon.
Yeah. I think Raimi was in hopes of including other Marvel heroes into his little Spider-Verse he had going.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
But the theory is that Doctor Strange won't actually be our MCU Doctor Strange. It would be
what Raimi had in mind.
I'm just using that as an example of they've mentioned him before. There's heavy speculation that Toby or Andrew could make an appearance. We already know Electro and Doc Ock are coming back.
Yep.
So, why not use that line and pay it off?
Okay.
It's just something that if Sam Raimi, Sam Raimi's directing, and again, so Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange
2. Yeah.
Which he had referenced in his Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Right? So if he wanted to, he could be working with the Spider-Man team and say,
it's so weird.
So it's going to be the Doctor Strange that J. Jonah Jameson was talking about, that comes, and instead of our Doctor Strange making a mistake in opening a portal or something, that Doctor Strange from that universe
Yep.
opens a portal, and that's how their Doc Ock gets through.
Yep.
And then something else happens, or that Doctor Strange then goes and opens another one, and that's where Jamie Foxx's Electro comes through. They're just suggesting that maybe the Doctor Strange...
So with each... Okay, I get it. So with each universe that we know a villain is coming from, there will also be a Doctor Strange included in that.
So it's just a fan theory, but it is kind of cool.
Okay. I could see that. It seems like a little much. So first of all, again... if all these rumors were true, this movie would be 4 hours long with a budget of $1.5 billion because the list of actors and now they have to cast new ones, and it would just, this movie would never end, and it would just be a mess, just a straight mess of a movie. So I can say with confidence that 75% of everything we've been speculating will not happen, but simply because of all this talk between Flashpoint and Spider-Man 3, those are the only two movies I care about, because I'm just so, especially Spider-Man, I'm just so damn curious as to what's going to actually happen and what we're right about and what we're wrong about. Because, the likelihood of a lot of these rumors, the likelihood of them are actually kind of high. They make sense, there's a place for it, it fits. But, what's going to actually make it, what is going to be... First of all, to structure this movie is going to be very, very difficult. It'll be very easy to ruin this movie, right? Into the Spider-Verse, it being animated made it a lot easier for them to structure this thing and make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? A live action Spider-Verse movie is going to be a lot more difficult to make, and a lot more money.
Expensive.
Yep. Big budget, very easy to mess it up. So I'm very curious as to what this movie is going to actually be. Same thing with Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint. I would love to just be able to read the script.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just get a feel for how they're attempting this.
I think Flashpoint's going to be worse just because there's so much Batman talk. So it's just so much easier to mess up, because it's so much Batman talk. I hear more about Batman.
I'm calling it right now.
Hit me.
Flashpoint is going to be a better movie than Spider-Man 3. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Right. How are we gonna do this though? How are we gonna do it? Are we going by Rotten Tomatoes?
No. Oh, okay. No. We're going by fans. Going by fans.
Okay. Here's the deal. We'll write it down and everything.
All right.
We'll sign it right now.
All right, bet.
We'll
On camera. Right on camera.
All right. And we'll go. Okay, so this is the deal. Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score
and a fan score.
Audience score. Yeah. So the audience score will determine who
this
wins
little bet.
This.
Yeah, this little bet we got going.
So keep talking about something.
Spider-Man 3. I'm calling Spider-Man 3 just because of the simple fact that DC can't make anything good. They just can't. They have 2 movies. They've released, 8-9 movies in their extended universe, and 2 of them are good, and they're only acceptable. They're not, good. They're just acceptable. They're just not hot garbage like everything else they've been releasing. So I'm 100% going with Spider-Man on this one. First of all, Spider-Man is much more popular than Flash could ever possibly be. I love Flash. Don't get it twisted. I love Flash. But Spider-Man, just for the normies out there, they're going to show up for Spider-Man, not Flashpoint. So that right there is number-wise, Spider-Man's in the lead. 2, MCU they just make movies better than DC does. It's simple as that. It's unfortunate because I like DC more than I like Marvel, but it is what it is. The MCU is much more successful than DC. 3, I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. Ezra Miller is not as I don't dislike him, but Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Ezra Miller as Flash. Tom wins. You know what I'm saying? As far as fan choices and fan favorites, Tom wins that one. I don't see it happening at all. I just don't. We're gonna base it off. We're gonna base it off fan because critics like.
I'm saying that who are the two most popular superheroes in the world, and I'm talking about Marvel and DC. Who are the top two?
One from Marvel, one from DC.
Yes.
DC's hard. It's either Superman or Batman, and Marvel is easily Spider-Man.
Okay, so in both of our movies,
Yeah.
we have
The most popular.
But
it's a Flash movie. That's the difference. Yes, there'll be a lot of Batman, but it's a Flash movie.
But I think there's a good chance. that people show up for Flashpoint.
No, they're going to show up.
And
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a better movie, and we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, so here it is. So Justice says Spider-Man 3 will be better than Flashpoint. Tyler says Flashpoint will be a better film than Spider-Man 3.
The
rules
interesting.
are we are going off the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Whoever wins, whoever is deemed the winner, and we'll have a little discussion about it, when the time comes.
Yep.
Whoever wins, we're gonna have to think about what the prize or what the
I
loser.
got. Yeah, no, I got it.
All right, what is that?
I got. Well, for my end, I was thinking you could, if you win, I have to go on camera stating why I love Batman vs Superman.
Yes.
Why I love Zack Snyder.
Yep, that's it.
I'll write you an article as to why I love Zack Snyder.
If Tyler wins, Justice.
I want nothing from you. I don't want anything from you.
Why?
Because I can't think of anything. That's why.
You will. If Tyler wins,
I'll write you an
Justice
article
has
as to
write
why Zack Snyder is the best
an
choice for the DC universe.
essay. Why Zack Snyder? What?
Is the best choice for the DC universe.
It has to be heartfelt too.
Yo, you hear that first? You heard that, people? It has to be heartfelt.
All right.
He wants a genuine lie.
All right. So Tyler Roberts.
I don't know. I'll think of a punishment for you after.
I just need your signature here.
You want?
Oh, it's official.
It's official.
All right, my friend.
I signed that.
It's a binding contract.
I used my legitimate signature for that. That's what I signed bills with and credit cards and the whole nine. That's legit.
That is a
no games around here, people.
That
We
is
don't
a
play games
legitimate
around
contract.
here. We don't play games around here, people. We just read out a contract on camera.
Yep. All right, and that's gonna be. I
love it.
Yep. All right, I dig it. It's a fun little thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I can't believe you think Flashpoint is going to be better than Spider-Man. I think Flashpoint is going to be a hot mess. I think Flashpoint is just going to be confusing and like dragged out and what's the word I'm looking for? Like
too much?
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
Like, yeah. Overwhelming, too much, yeah. Like there's just going to be a lot going on. They're going to have a piss poor way of explaining it, and it's not going to make any sense. People are going to come out scratching their heads. Yeah. I think it's going to be
That's all right.
It's going to be a rough ride.
All right. I gotcha. All right. So me and Jack were talking last night, right? And I was telling him that, with Patty Jenkins directing the Star Wars movie, this could be leaving the door open where maybe someone else steps in for Wonder Woman 3.
Okay.
Not every director does every movie in the trilogy.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Didn't Iron Man switch up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after Wonder Woman 84, I think it might be time for a change.
Yeah. Well,
Warner
do you
Brothers,
cut her after one? She has one good one and one bad one.
Right.
So
So here it is.
you could go either way with that.
Warner Brothers announces Patty Jenkins will return for Wonder Woman 3,
Okay.
and she'll write and direct it.
Okay.
So she is going to be, as of now, because we've seen directors walk away or get fired halfway through.
This is true.
But as
Yep.
of right now, Warner Brothers announced that Patty Jenkins
It's
will
set up.
return
Okay.
for Wonder Woman 3.
No, I think Patty's good about taking what we say and applying it. So I think good. R.I.P. Kobe. Let's go. That was a good shot. Let's go.
Right over to you.
Patty's good about listening to us and what we have to say and applying it to her movies, right? So I think she's gonna listen to everything people have been saying about 84 and what a dumpster fire it turned out to be, and she'll apply that and fix it, right? Because she has two examples: one movie we like and one movie we hate. So she knows what to do with this third one, and I think this third one is the test. Right here. If she messes up on this third one, all right, we cut her. Same thing with Zack. That's the same thing with Zack. If Justice League does not work, all right, third time's the charm. You're getting cut. If this works, all right, now you've earned your place here. Same thing with Patty. Third time's the charm. If this third movie works, all right, you can stick around.
Well, what are you saying with Zack?
You're
saying Man of Steel was okay?
Yes, Man of Steel was okay. BVS was dumpster fire. It was terrible. Justice League. If Justice League works, all right, well, you can stick around. But if it's hot garbage, we're getting rid of you. Same thing with Patty.
All right, well, see, because I'm on the side where...
Well, you like Zack regardless.
Yeah, I'm on the side that he's 2 for 2. He's straight 100%. So,
but I've heard, like, I've told you this before.
If we're going by numbers, yes.
Yeah. And
if we're going by the Rotten Tomatoes numbers and, those other places like that, the critics, if we're going by critic analysis, then Zack, okay, I agree.
Yeah. But, okay, again, though, this, I think we had this talk off camera, but this is the second, again, like, not until I started doing this with you and you started to meet people that I've met anybody, like, in person or online that likes his DC run. Like, every channel I've seen, whether they're a DC fan or just a straight, like, movie critic, on both ends, don't like him. People I know in real life don't like it. So up until now is the only time I've ever seen fans of this movie. So I think that's what I said was a fair analysis.
Yeah. You know what? It is what it is.
We'll see.
Some people don't like Snyder.
Yeah.
This is cool, though. So during the Deck the Halls of Justice, which I jumped in with Lightcast for that, they raised a ton of money.
That's what's up.
Almost 115,000.
Woof. Yeah. Well, suicide awareness, right?
It was at 387,000, and now it's a $500,000. So how much is that?
You said 387.
387,000, and then it was at $500,000.
It's 113.
So that's a lot of money to raise.
Yeah, it is.
For one day.
Yeah, it is.
I can't even raise $1,000 for my mother's breast cancer.
Not yet.
You know what I mean? No one, and I get it. We did it during the holidays. And, COVID and stuff, but
our voice isn't that large yet.
But Zack Snyder talked about Joker in the nightmare scene. He kind of gave it away on what happens. So, I want to go on and say that I was right. I was right. Basically, so Joker is helping the survivors of Darkseid's wrath. So, in the nightmare scene, what happens is there's only a few people left. So,
and Joker's out here helping survivors.
Joker can't be Joker if there's no world. So Joker, yes, obviously, Joker never wanted the world to end. No, he just wanted to mess with Batman and turn him inside out and burn the city down. He never wanted to corrupt or destroy the whole world. I'm sure at one point, or a couple comic book stories, maybe. But for the most part, Joker is there only because Batman is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, what happens? We don't know the context of it, but Joker only helps them because he's probably helping himself, right? So, Cyborg figures out that they need one of the mother boxes, and it's only a couple people left for heroes, right? It's only Cyborg, Mera, Batman, and Flash, and Joker, Deathstroke. There's only a couple people left after Darkseid wipes them all out.
Yep.
We don't know where Superman is at this time, but Joker steals the mother box and gives it to the surviving League members so they can create the Cosmic Treadmill. They use the Cosmic Treadmill, which is a Flash thing.
Yeah.
So Flash uses it before he knows how to tap into the Speed Force by himself.
Use it to
this
like
kind
open
of helps
portals
him.
and what? Yeah.
So they're building the treadmill that allows Barry to go back and warn Bruce during Batman vs Superman.
Yep.
So that's how it ties together.
Yep.
So I thought that. So I said that Joker was going to be teamed up. Maybe not teamed up is the word, but Joker would be helping Batman.
On paper, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Now, so based off of what you just described, it sounds just like Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, right? But in Apocalypse War, right? The Suicide Squad, there's a group of villains.
I just don't understand why you hate everything.
I'm in the middle.
Batman.
I'm in the middle of
times.
I'm in the middle of explaining it right now. In
Such
Apocalypse
a
War,
Nancy.
no, that's dumb. In Apocalypse War, right? It's the Suicide. There's a handful of villains helping, right? Lex Luthor's one of them. Suicide Squad. It's Harley Quinn, like Cheetah. I think King Shark.
I watched
etc. Right? They're helping. There's no mention. There's no Joker. Joker is not like helping survive. Can you picture the Joker? I can see Jared Leto's Joker doing it because he's not so like far gone. But like how I picture Joker, no matter the circumstance, he's never gonna go out of his way to help mankind. Again, I can picture Jared Leto's Joker doing it, so it won't be that like crazy to see. But like Joker as a character, I will never picture such a thing happening. Harley Quinn, on the other hand, I think she's the perfect for that. I think that exact thing would have worked much better if it was Harley, because Harley hasn't been always like this. Harley only ended up like that because of Joker, and when she separates herself from him, you know, she starts spending time with people like Poison Ivy. She starts to change, and her real personality starts to come out more. So I can see things.
She is willing to help.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
I see Harley doing things like that, especially when shit hits the fan. But not Joker.
I just want to say it. I do get what you're saying. I just think that in the circumstance, Darkseid has ravaged the planet. Right? It's like dark, desolate. You're under tyranny. Joker doesn't want a place like that because he's not like Darkseid. He doesn't want Darkseid to be there because Darkseid like Darkseid, like you said before, would just wipe him away like that.
Yeah,
because he's annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So Joker doesn't want this guy here because he wants to continue to torment Batman. He can't do that in a world like this. So maybe helping them this once to get the world back to the way it normal was isn't such a bad thing. We'll see. We don't need to talk about it too much.
I don't see Joker even surviving. I see it exactly how you just said it. Darkseid is just, I'm going to kill him right here, right now, because he's just annoying. I'm just going to get rid of him. I don't see it. With Jared Leto's Joker, yeah, it's not that far-fetched because, like, Jared Leto's Joker really isn't off the deep end.
Right.
At least the way he portrayed him anyways. It's not that, like...
He's also going to look completely different.
Yes, he made that clear.
What I'm imagining would be... Remember how Batman looked in the Nightmare scene with, like, the trench coat?
Yeah.
I suspect that he'll have something like that. Something like a darker trench coat, you know, maybe a bulletproof vest, with some, you know, like a green dress shirt or something to keep his style. Not his style, but
just no pimp cane, no leather jacket, no slick back hair.
I think we'll see, like, Walking Dead Joker. So, like, he's got, like, dirty trench coat on.
Like a Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he'll look, you know, like he's, so that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully they won't, maybe he got laser tattoo removal by then, got rid of the
used all mega beams to laser remove that damaged tattoo. That's, if you could do anything, that would be it.
Right.
Get rid of that stupid tattoo. I can't take it anymore.
But yeah, so not a lot of movie news this week. I will tell you this though. Midnight Sky is now out with what is it, Clooney?
I'm not sure.
Or is it?
I'm not sure. I'm not even familiar.
Midnight Sky is with Clooney, and then there's another film called News of the World, and that is in cinemas now. Also, Wonder Woman is now playing in cinemas where they're open.
I saw an ad for a movie called Greenland that's also in theaters right now. It's like a disaster movie. And then also Pixar released Soul on Disney Plus, which I haven't watched yet, but I would like to go
really
watch.
Good.
Yeah, I heard I heard it's not Pixar's best work, but like Pixar's best work is like top tier tier quality filmmaking. So when a Pixar movie isn't that good, it's excellent to everybody else's standards. You know what I mean?
And for the people that just tuned in here, I just want to let you know our spotlight today is going to be on Wonder Woman 1984. That's the last 30 minutes of today's show. So that's kind of why we're not talking about it in the movie section.
Yeah.
So on to one last thing. And I had it here. So, I want to talk about Matt Reeves' Batman real quick.
So excited.
Yes.
I hope Showcase lets us do that again for Batman.
So,
that'd be
I
awesome.
want to work with them for Morbius, too.
Okay.
I think working with them for Morbius would be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming up.
Yeah. It is coming up, huh?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So, Morbius,
another
for you guys
movie
that
they're not
don't
really
know,
pushing that hard.
No.
I don't understand why.
For those of you that don't know, Morbius it's Morbius the living vampire.
Yes.
And he is born with a rare blood disease that it's like eating him. Like he's always like
it's like a parasite in his blood.
He's always getting weaker as he gets older and gets a little bit more crippled and a little bit more weak.
Yeah.
He's rapidly aging. Due to the blood disorder, and he's always searching for a cure for it. Finds that cure in
the form of being he's like Doctor Strange, but instead of becoming a sorcerer to fix his hands, he becomes a vampire to fix his blood disease.
Right.
It's essentially the same thing.
Yes. And I don't want to give away how he turns because that's going to be a big moment in the film.
That's fair. Yeah.
You can see that at that point in the trailer where he's staring into a cave and a bunch of bats come out.
Yeah.
That's where he's about to find.
It reminds me of when I forget dude's name, but Dracula Untold.
Yeah. I thought that was a great movie.
I like that movie too, and I wish they did more with it because it was a cool concept. But it reminds me, the Morbius trailer reminds me of the same way he becomes a vampire in that movie. It looks similar.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So, all right. And we've talked up here at the Pop Culture Corner, we always praise Matt Reeves, the Batman, for what it is, for what we know about.
It looks really good. And
it does.
If it comes out bad, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to be a hot mess. I might cry during that following episode, honestly.
The following episode will be right there in the theater.
And I might cry. I might cry.
I think honestly, guys, that for every big comic book movie, we're going to do the show live from the theater.
Assuming they'll let us.
Assuming they let us. For those of you who don't know, or a lot of my family seems to be tuning in. For those of you who don't know, we partnered up with Showcase Cinemas.
Yes, sir.
And we did a special Wonder Woman 1984 holiday special thing, like review show. And we did it all from inside Showcase Cinemas, presented and sponsored by National Amusements, which is the parent company of Showcase. They gave us a private room, easels,
little snacks,
posters.
And, all kinds
they gave us everything.
Tickets, the whole nine.
Yep. It was amazing. It was
a great experience. And hopefully, like I said, I really, really, really want to do it again for Batman because, like I said at the beginning of the show, Wonder Woman 84 was not very good, and that's why we didn't really talk about it at the theater.
I told this to Jack last night. I said, listen, the episode would have been a lot better
if the movie was good. Yeah.
And
exactly.
I don't care if you liked Wonder Woman 1984, But don't tell me that it left you with all these things to talk about.
Because it didn't. It was boring. It really was. And that's probably the cardinal sin of any movie, any kind of media whatsoever. If it's boring, then you just can't. Like, it wasn't bad in a way that we could even talk about. It was just boring. And that was the problem. So that's why I said, Batman, I pray to Jesus we get to do this again. Even Morbius, because I have a feeling Morbius is going to be like funny bad. Like we get to laugh at it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's actually going to be good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think the best thing that's going to come out
of the contract?
I think the best thing that's going to come out of Morbius is the like Michael Keaton. Just the fact that we know that MCU Spider-Man versus tying into Sony's. I think that's the best thing that's going to come out of the movie is the confirmation that yes, these things are tied together. Venom, Morbius, Tom Holland, everybody ties in together.
A lot of people went into Venom with that mindset and loved it.
Yeah, true. I mean, Venom, the first time I watched Venom, I didn't care for it.
I still don't care for it.
Yeah, second watching, I got more comfortable with it. I'm not like a fan of jokester Venom. I know that's like him for the most part, like in the comics and whatnot. For a long time, Venom was like he's a funny guy. He cracks jokes and stuff. Yeah, he cracks jokes and stuff, but I was never a fan of that. I like Ultimate Spider-Man's Venom, where he's just kind of a mindless monster. Because I'm not a fan of like Professor Hulk either. Like, I don't like when Bruce has control of Hulk. I don't like it at all. I like when Hulk is a mindless beast and Bruce is Bruce. Same thing with Venom. Venom's a mindless beast. Eddie is Eddie. Right. I prefer that, you know?
Right. The Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so today we're going to talk about potential problems with Matt Reeves, the Batman. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it was brought to my attention via DM. One of the fans,
shout out to you,
DM'd and said, "How about we talk about this?"
Okay.
And I said, "You know what?
Hit me.
You're the first one to ever do that. DM me." Which I would love if more people did.
Yeah. So we again, plug our social media every time.
Every day we're on social media. Every day. Like, let us know what to talk about with you. Because if that's what we're trying to do is engage you.
Yeah, we want you here.
Give us reasons. Someone gave me a reason.
What did he say?
He just, and I'll get through it. I'll tell you what he said after. So, potential problems with the Batman, Matt Reeves directing. And Robert Pattinson playing the titular character. Now, Batman isn't just some superhero. He's not just some character. He is a staple of film, comic books, television.
Just pop culture in general. Batman is
staple.
Yeah, Batman's
probably
important.
bigger than Jesus in pop culture.
Batman is more important to me personally than Jesus is. So, honestly.
All right. So the people that confirmed that Ben Affleck was returning as Batman, we know them.
Who?
We know who that was.
Oh, yep. Shout out to you.
They had a scoop that Alfred may not survive the first film.
I don't like that.
I am not going to be happy with.
No, I wouldn't be happy with that.
You can't kill Alfred.
Either. Whoa, wait.
You can.
Wait.
But you can't.
If this is the only movie we get, okay, fine.
No, it's planning
on being a trilogy. Yeah, so no, I'm sorry, not right off rip. Alfred is too important to Bruce.
Would you be okay with him dying in the third act of the second movie?
Second, yes, and then
the
third movie.
But you're okay with Alfred
dying?
Yeah,
only because it would be interesting to see. Bruce is just going to completely fall apart because there is no Dick in this universe. There's no Tim. There's no Jason. There's no Damian.
Hold on, though.
It's just him and Alfred.
He's only year 2 Batman. So even if you killed him in the second movie, say they do year 2 Batman, then like year 4 Batman.
So that's so early.
Then year 5 Batman to end it.
Yeah.
And you kill Alfred before year 5.
It's still too early. It is. It's too early to kill him. It is. But It would just be interesting to see because nobody else has done it. And Bruce is going to be, again, there is no Damian, there's no Dick, there's no nobody. It's just him and Alfred. So if Alfred goes, Bruce is going to be a hot mess. And it'd just be interesting to see him collapse as Batman.
I just don't understand why.
That would be
and it's Andy Serkis.
That'd be a great way to introduce the way Zack did Batman, which is much more aggressive, and he's not so like he doesn't hold back anymore. He's a lot more aggressive about his, and that'd be a great way to introduce that, is killing off Alfred. That's why he acts the way he acts. But like, that Batman is way too early. I think it's way too early for that. Okay.
We have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because we're gonna be stopping for our spotlight anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We have to
switch things.
Roll
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Switch gears. So, Robert Pattinson not in shape. Production has been shut down a couple times.
Yeah.
They use COVID-19 as an official reason why.
Yeah.
But some people are saying otherwise. So
I hear Pattinson's hard to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are worried about the film, maybe being too hyper-realistic, and Matt Reeves is trying to make a Batman story that could be set in real life, rather than telling a good Batman story. I don't want a story that I think could happen right now. I want a good Batman story. Batman is a fictional character.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know why everybody feels they need this Nolan approach. I don't understand why. Nolan did it. You're not Nolan. You're not Nolan. Don't do what Nolan did. Do what you do. But I think this is going to be a good Batman story. He's essentially telling Hush. That's essentially the story we're getting. From what I can tell anyways, it seems like a combination of Hush and A Long Halloween. So I think it's going to be a good story.
I hope so.
In Matt Reeves, I trust. I mean, I'm basing all of this simply off of a trailer and what Matt said at Fandom, but I'm confident in this. Cool. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think the story is going to be the strong point of this, if anything.
I hope so, because I hope it's like an intricate puzzle that we have to figure out.
Kind of solve it along with Batman.
Yeah. I think that'd be
and
really
I
cool.
think that's the aim they're going for, is a murder mystery that we solve along with Batman, because he said it that he's going to highlight the detective aspect of Batman.
Like, I love those,
which we never see.
Again, that's the problem with Wonder Woman, right? Didn't keep you engaged and compelled.
Yeah.
But this Batman story, you might be solving, kind of like that movie Seven, where you're like trying to figure it out while the main characters are trying to figure out.
Is that's the what's in the box? Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're trying to
that's a good
figure it out
example.
the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. Absolutely. That's a great example as how Matt Reeves could come across this just with a Batman skin on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And then obviously the Batmeal.
What does a Batmeal consist of? A lot of protein.
A lot of protein.
Maybe your greens, some carrots, because he needs good eyesight.
The Batmobile looking like something out of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So
I hate it.
Year 2 Batman doesn't have. I mean, because some people are like, well, why? I mean, he's still a billionaire.
Yeah.
He could still come up with something better than that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he needs yet.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
He just gets himself a Mustang with some nitrous in it. Yeah. Okay, I get that.
He doesn't know exactly what he needs yet to protect himself.
Yeah.
So,
and would your first like you're coming? So okay, this is year 2 Batman, right? So he doesn't know. Like, he's coming in, year 1 Batman is coming in because of the Mafia, right? Like, you don't need a tank on wheels to fight the Mafia, right? It's not until, people like Killer Croc show up that he needs more heavy duty. Yeah, that was a once-in-a-lifetime shot. Hate to break it to you. With normal dudes with guns, you don't need what's essentially a tank to take them down, right? A Mustang with some nitrous in it should serve the purpose, right. So that makes sense.
So, but what I was saying, so what I was saying was, usually what Batman does is he's faced with a problem and he fixes it, right? He learns, he gets maybe shot. And then he goes to Alfred and he's like, listen,
this is what I need
to fix this.
Goes to Lucius, Alfred. Yeah.
Yep. So he's got that Mustang, it's got the huge engines and the nitrous.
Yep.
And then, he gets T-boned by a tractor trailer and realizes, all right, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, a Chevy isn't going to cut it. We're going to need a little something with some oomph to it.
Yeah, so as he gains more experience, he figures out, okay, I need this, and this, and then that's how he creates.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of people create, is they're faced with a problem, they fix the problem.
Come up with a solution.
And it kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of the movie news. I am super excited. There's a couple movies that I know him and I really want to see. They showed the Black Widow trailer again at Wonder Woman. I'm super excited for Black Widow. Movie. I'm very much looking forward to Eternals, Shang-Chi. I'm
Batman.
also looking forward to what?
Batman. Suicide Squad.
Batman, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good year.
I hope, anyways.
Yes. So with that being said,
I have 22 minutes for getting into gaming. It should be sufficient.
Yep.
Let me start with Sephiroth. It's really just a quick mention. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is Nintendo just showing why. Okay, so if you ask me, right, as far as the console wars go, in all actuality, I picked Nintendo. Nintendo is the only one throughout this entire time, with the exception of the Wii U. But even then, it was like their games were still good. It was just the console that wasn't that great. Nintendo is the only one who has been consistently on point this entire time. And Ultimate is like the perfect example of Super Smash as a whole, I should say, has been the perfect example of what Nintendo has been this entire time. So with the introduction, I just thought it was really cool, honestly. If we're just being real for a second, I just thought it was really cool that they're introducing Sephiroth as a character in Super Smash Bros. It's getting to the point that Smash is so big, they're going out of Nintendo, right? That's why you see people like Snake and Cloud and, Banjo and Kazooie. It's because they ran out of Nintendo characters. If they just stuck to Nintendo, it would just be like 8 different colors of Kirby. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really cool. If you don't have this game, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. But go get it. Get those DLCs. It's a good time. Next, Marvel's Avengers. Now I know, I'm late for this. I know I should have covered this months ago, but I didn't have this months ago. We weren't doing this podcast months ago when this game was released, and I didn't even buy it until it was already out for a solid 3 months. But I want to talk about it because I was playing it last night, and they finally hit me with, up until this point, this game has just been mediocre at best. It's just been clunky and just kind of ugly to look at. The gameplay hasn't been very fun. It was just not that great. But as far as the story goes, I'm okay with this story. So what the story is, it's introducing MODOK as the major villain, right? And the first opening to the story is the Avengers essentially being set up and being blamed from some great catastrophe on Avengers Day. So while they're having this fair and this big celebration of the Avengers, MODOK attacks. Well, he has his goons attack, and they blame the Avengers for it, right? Cap doesn't make it out, and they're trying to, so they dismantle, right? The main focus is playing as Kamala Khan, and God, I hope the TV show, the way they portray her is not the same as in the game, because in the game, she's annoying. She's just annoying. Throughout this entire game, she has been, making these great feats and doing all this crazy awesome stuff and proving herself a hero and being recognized by the Avengers, but still we're more than halfway through this game and she's still oh, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I'm good enough, blah blah blah, and that can only go for so long, and it's just annoying, right? So where I'm at in this game right now is so slowly, like I said, the Avengers have been dismantled. So slowly but surely, as you go through the game, each Avenger comes back, right? So I'm at the point when Thor comes in, and the way they introduced Thor was awesome. If you ask me, he just kind of shows up, right? Things pop off, and Thor just kind of shows off because it's getting real. They're on the helicarrier, and things are popping off over Manhattan. So Thor just kind of shows up. I absolutely love it. Now at this point is where they introduce that like they have this like dynamic of teamwork. Like I don't what do they call it when the Avengers play off each other? Like Cap will hold the shield and Iron Man will shoot at it and Cap will like deflect it. Like they have a name for it and I just can't remember. Like they named it something when they do that, when they do like team attacks. Like I'm Cap, you're Iron Man, we do attack together. You know what I'm saying? They have a name for that, but I can't seem to remember what it is. You guys know what I'm describing though. And at this point in the game, this is the first time like the Avengers are all together. Everybody's there with the exception of Cap. So they started doing that, introducing that kind of team attacks and that kind of dynamic, and it's awesome. And I don't understand why the whole game hasn't been like this. Like up until now, the game has been very like I said before, just mediocre. It's just barely enough to be entertaining, and it's at times it's not entertaining at all. And I don't understand why the entire game hasn't been like this, because this part is where I'm at right now. It's cool as hell, and I struggled to put it down last night because I had to go to bed. It was like 4:00 in the morning. I was like, all right, I gotta put this down because I was having a blast for once with this game. So I'm not really understanding as the game goes on. I'll talk about it again if worthwhile, but like it's confusing to me as to why like this whole game hasn't been the way it is right now. And I think it would really benefit from the addition of new characters. Like Spider-Man is supposed to come at some point exclusively to PlayStation. I heard an announcement of Black Panther coming in at some point. They added Kate Bishop. So I think this game will really benefit with the addition of new heroes and maybe some updates, some glitch fixes and things like that, some patches, things of that sort, maybe some new content, because the game has potential. Hopefully they make a sequel and they really play off their strong points. Nice. Because there's potential there. Like they have something there. They just didn't flourish it. They didn't bring out its full potential. So I'm hoping there's a sequel, and I'm hoping they really like grasp on to what was done well and what wasn't. And what's done well is their storytelling and certain aspects of the gameplay, the kind of team up kind of gameplay they have going, right? Like Avengers bouncing off of each other. That's the best highlights of this game. Cyberpunk. Oof, made that shot. R.I.P. Kobe. Cyberpunk. So from what I can see, I haven't purchased it, nor I can't even purchase it now because Sony took it off their stores. Imagine that. So first and foremost, everybody is issuing refunds. That's Microsoft. If you bought it online on Steam or something, they're issuing refunds. Sony issued refunds and then took it off of the store. At its best, I've heard this game looks, from what I've seen, at its best, this game looks beautiful. At its worst, it looks like GTA 3 on PlayStation 2. It's horrendous looking. Things that shouldn't happen. Like GTA 5 came out 5 years ago, and like simple like mechanics and simple little things, like for example, you shoot a tire in GTA 5, that tire will flatten, you'll even hear some air come out of it. Cyberpunk, nothing of the sort happens. It acts like you shoot a tire, it's like you shot nothing, right? Same thing with the water. You shoot water in GTA, there's a splash effect. Cyberpunk, no such thing. Which really? those are like minor. Now, mind you, this game prides itself on its mechanics and its realism and how it looks and things of that sort. So little things like that in a game like this do matter. But even on the bigger picture, the game is broken. Like it's from what I've seen, like NPCs will just be like, they'll be doing whatever they're supposed to be doing. Like say you walk into a gym, he'll be curling, an iron, whatever, but he'll have a pistol in that same hand. So he's like holding a dumbbell and a pistol and he's curling it. What? And then and then you step into a room. What? So from what I've seen, everything's fine, but when you step into the room, everybody starts to bug out and everything goes crazy, and they start doing the T stance, and it's just insane. Like, this game is clearly not finished, clearly. And I think, like, I was having this conversation the other day. Like, this game's been being delayed for the past, like, 3-4 years now, right? So if they delayed it again, nobody would have bought it. Like, they kind of had to release it in hopes of somebody purchasing it. But, like, I think you should have just gave up with this one, honestly. You should have just let it go. Or, at very least, tell people when you released it. Like, they didn't tell anybody that this game was the way it was. If you told everybody, listen, we are not done yet. We will have a patch for you very soon. You can either buy it now and wait for us to update it, or just don't buy it and buy it once we finish with it. But no, they released it, you know what I'm saying? But they released it, didn't tell anybody anything, didn't warn anybody, and they released an unfinished, broken, ugly game.
So, and the thing about this game was, right, like you said, it was so highly anticipated.
Yeah, the hype was real.
The hype was real, and they were faced with a situation. Like, okay, it's either we release it now, while it's not finished. We know damn well it's not finished.
Yep.
But we've kind of screwed ourselves by constant delays and, like, building hype for something that, like, they would build hype and then it would get delayed.
Yep.
So then they would have to build hype for it again, and then it got delayed again.
Yep.
So much to the point where people were literally like, all right, bro, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. Exactly.
And then they put it out not finished.
Yep.
Didn't tell anyone that, that there was issues. And then when people started playing it, they realized there's issues, and now they're looking at the game studio like, bro, what is wrong with you? Right?
Yeah, you've been promising us this game for the past 3. Sony does not got time for this. Sony just dropped. First of all, Sony and Microsoft just dropped their next-gen consoles, right? So they're trying to focus on that, pushing that. Sony has exclusives for days. Sony has always been the winner in all thing exclusive games. So they don't need you. Like, they're fine. They got plenty going on. Ghost of Tsushima, Miles Morales, God of War, it goes on. The list goes on. They don't need you. So that's why they cut you off. We're good. Like, we don't need this. Bring that to Microsoft, because they clearly need you, right? Because they just bought out Bethesda, but they're not releasing anything anytime soon. Halo Infinite has been delayed indefinitely. Like, they got nothing going on, so they can deal with that. But Sony, we don't need you. Like, you give us a broken game. Like, Sony, this has happened in the past, mind you, with games like Anthem. What's the other? PUBG was a hot mess when it dropped. There's a lot of games that are just a hot mess. So I think Sony is like, they're at the point like, listen, this crosses the line, right? Because, like, Anthem, yeah, it was like highly anticipated, but nowhere near what Cyberpunk was. So I think Sony is just like, all right, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, you people want to give us broken games, we're cutting you off. That's it. Like, we're going to pay everybody their money back, and we're cutting you off, and that's it. We're done. Now, they might, after CD Red actually fixes this game, maybe Sony will bring it back, but the likelihood of that is slim, if you ask me. If I was Sony, I would not bring them back. I'd tell them, yo, kick rocks. We don't need you. We're doing just fine without y'all. We just dropped our PS5, and people are still lining up for days to get it. We don't need you. We're good. See you later, pimpin'. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like I said, I feel like people more or less feel like they were played.
Absolutely.
And, this could have been avoided if they had just been upfront with people.
Exactly.
And said, like you said, hey, this isn't done yet, but we're...
Exactly.
We want to release it because we don't want to keep telling you that there's some game that this epic.
Yeah.
And, you don't have it yet, but don't worry, we're still working on it 5 years later.
And it's clearly a passion project, right? A lot went into this. A lot of people really care about this. Clearly, there's a lot of love and a lot of heart in this, and it is a huge. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but like in Blade Runner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's basically Blade Runner the video game. So there's a lot to it, right? There's a lot going on here, and I get that, but all you had to do was tell people, like, listen, this is messed up right now. Things are still buggy, things are still glitchy, but give us a rough estimate as to when you'll release these patches and updates. And I'm sure people still would have bought just for the fact of it's funny. Like, Skyrim was an ugly mess, but that's because of things we did to it, right? And we understood that there was something wrong, but we still bought it because it was fun and an awesome game, bugs or not. You could have done the same thing with Cyberpunk, but no, you decided to keep your mouth shut and release the game at full price and not tell anybody anything. And now you're facing the backlash. And you deserve it, because that's not cool. Listen, you lost me a long time ago. Like, I was hype about this game about 2 years ago, and I just gave up on it after the third delay. Like, I haven't bought it yet, nor will I buy it. I'll buy it maybe when they update it. That's assuming Sony even allows me to buy it once it's updated and fixed. I don't know. It seems like a lot of problems with a simple solution that you just didn't use. You had the option to avoid all this and you didn't take it.
Yeah.
You got no sympathy over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you get another minute. I know, I'll get it. You get another minute.
Logan.
Quick sniff ain't a piece of paper.
I'm gonna go fix that. Before
but
he chose.
Anyway, though, it is
it.
time for TY's TV time. TY's TV time. Guys, I'm talking new upcoming series. So we have about 10 minutes until our spotlight feature. So I figure we can run down, the shows that are coming out on different platforms, whether it's cable, TV, or streaming. The first one I have for you on Netflix, a big show that I personally enjoy a lot, is Netflix Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Part 4 comes out on December 31st.
I would still like to check that out, too.
Yeah, it's an amazing show.
Yeah, you piqued my interest with that one.
Netflix is also releasing Cobra Kai a week earlier than intended. So that'll be coming out January 8th, 2021. On to Disney Plus, we have WandaVision, which releases on January
15th, right?
January 15th,
yeah.
Yep. Disney Plus also has Falcon and the Winter Soldier, March 19th.
Oh, they gave us a specific date. Oh,
They
okay.
did.
Nice.
The CW has several shows. They always do. They have Batwoman, Season 2, January 17th. The CW's Riverdale, Season 5, January 20th. The CW's Walker, Texas Ranger, starring Jared Padalecki from Supernatural.
I'm sorry, what?
We'll talk about it. Yep.
Walker, Texas Ranger? Wow.
Yep. Season 1, January 21st.
That's so weird.
The CW also has Flash, Season 7,
wow.
debuting February 23rd. CW's Black Lightning will be February 8th. I don't know why I put it in that order, but that's okay. Should have been backwards. The CW's Superman and Lois will also debut the same day as Flash Season 7. So that's Superman and Lois, February 23rd, Season 1. Now, a hidden sleeper on the list is TNT's Snowpiercer remake. January...
Can't read your own handwriting?
Nope.
24th, I think?
I'll get back to you guys on that. January something. It's coming out in January. I don't know what the hell I wrote down, but it's not numbers.
That was very funny. I couldn't read it either. I can confirm that his handwriting is ugly.
Yeah. So I just
that was funny.
I was like, yeah, I don't know what that is. January Tooth is what I wrote.
There, you heard it here first from the Pop Culture Corner. January Tooth Snowpiercer remake will be released.
Season 2. Season 1 was awesome.
Yeah?
Awesome.
That's TNT, right?
Yeah.
Snowpiercer? Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was so good.
TNT, they're on point with their TV shows.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking the other day, Drizzle? I was thinking about as to why I don't watch, because I keep getting people keep asking me why don't you watch shows and TV and blah blah blah. You know what it is? I like my stories short, sweet, and to the point, so to speak, right? Like I watched a review on he was making a point as to why Stranger Things should have ended at season 1. He made a lot of great points in. I think, and it gave me a realization as to why I don't watch TV, and it's because TV shows get dragged out. They have great stories, and they force them...
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. But I like a show that, from the jump, it's like, okay, this is 3 seasons long. Attack on Titan's a great example. Attack on Titan has always been, this is 4 seasons, and that's it, right? Like, Naruto would be the perfect TV show in my eyes if it didn't get stretched out the way it did. And that's the problem. They take these stories and they turn them what could just be 1 or 2 seasons and be excellent, but because they get popular, because they get good, they stretch them out as far as possible, and to the point you can't even recognize what it was anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I really don't watch TV.
Yes, we got a couple minutes left. I also want to talk to you about something. So, Justice for Christmas got me the complete first season of Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited that you got. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to play it and just go through it. However, HBO Max, there's a rumor going around that so CW and HBO Max are obviously under the Warner Brothers umbrella.
Yep.
Warner Brothers allowed the CW to re-air Swamp Thing as a new series because it was on DC Universe. Not a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
So they allowed CW to change a couple things, take out some of the more graphic things.
Okay.
And air it as a new series.
Interesting.
Numbers were overwhelmingly positive.
Really? So,
and this was a great move on the CW's part and Warner Brothers. So there is a chance that we're getting season 2 on HBO Max.
Is that all that is 1 season?
Yeah.
Why does it even say complete series?
Because it was they canceled it before season 1 aired.
But does it have a
so
like
technically
an ending?
that's the complete series? Yes.
Okay.
But it has a cliffhanger ending.
Okay.
So
for a future possibility.
It is such a good show, though.
Okay.
Such a good show.
See, that's something I could watch because it's 1 season.
And
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
good.
And it ties itself together at the end. I could watch that.
Obviously, so Swamp Thing made an appearance in Crisis for CW.
Okay.
So he's been in other things. Okay. We only have a couple minutes left, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us for now. We do have to stop the live version. I'm sorry because of Spotlight. And thank you guys for supporting us, and we've been having so much fun, and we can't wait to tell you what's next.
We do it for you. We do it for the culture. Holla. Welcome to another edition of Spotlight. Now, this is the first time this is part of the show, but we kind of decided to kind of switch it up and change our where we're sitting, get rid of the desk, etc. This is kind of how we used to do Quick Dip, but as of late, Quick Dip has been put on StreamYard and Zoom because we have Jack included quite often, and I'd be at home not trying to take an hour and a half trip to the studio, so we'd be using Zoom for a Quick Dip. So we figured for Spotlight, we'll switch up, we'll change positions, like I said, get rid of the desk and kind of give it its own look and feel. Now, if you watched our episode and up to this point, you'll know that we specifically said the other day when we were at Showcase that we're not really going to get into the movie itself because it turned out to be not what we thought. So that's what Spotlight is this week. It's Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, and our true, honest opinions of the film. Listen, typically me and him don't agree on a lot of movies, a lot of whatever, and that's okay. That makes for good conversation.
Yeah, it's mainly movies.
We came out of the theater and we agreed.
It's bad.
For the first, and that's very rare that this happens.
Especially
unless
on
it's
DC.
A really good movie.
Yeah, it's really just DC we disagree with mostly.
Yeah, you're right. It's just DC.
It really is.
And I'm the optimist. Everyone knows that. I'm the optimist. I like a lot of things that some people don't, but for the most part, we don't tend to agree on the DC films.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, we came out of it and we both agreed that this movie was whack.
It was. Whack is a good word.
Yeah, it was whack.
Whack is a solid word. It's the cardinal sin of any kind of media. It was boring as all hell. I mean, my God, they spent, first of all, 2.5 hours is way too long.
Didn't it feel like longer than 2.5 hours?
Yes, because it's boring.
It was like
yes.
I looked at my phone at one point.
See, that's how you know it's bad. We were both looking at our phones during this movie.
I never do that. I'm
Me
a big
neither.
avid believer in, the true movie-going experience.
Shut
quiet
it
off.
Turn it down.
I looked at my phone to do like a. I mean, it was a special circumstance, right? We were shooting a show from there, so I was keeping track of time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I looked at it, and we still had an hour and 12 minutes to go, and I was like,
yo, I feel like I've been here for. Yo, this is something I never do. I'm on the same page as him with the phone thing, and I don't get up during movies either. I don't go out. Like, if I'm ready to piss my pants, I won't leave until the movie's over. I just don't like do it. I will wait. I'll wait. I got up. And I took my sweet ass time at that. I was dilly-dallying. I was dilly-dallying. I'm looking around like, oh, that's cool. Like, I was having more entertainment looking at the theater and how they have it set up rather than the movie itself. I was just so bored, bro. God damn. Like, yo, Pedro Pascal by far is the best thing to come out of this. Now, this is something we went over positives at the theater itself. One thing I failed to mention, because I said it beforehand during the pre-show, I was like, Gal Gadot does not have acting range for the life of her. But she proved me wrong in this movie. She did well with the emotional scene. I thought it was a little much, but like for the story, she did a very good job with the emotional scenes and like when it came time that she had to realize, oh, I gotta let Steve go. Like she did very well with the mental breakdown that Diana has because of that. So props to you, gal. And Pedro Pascal performed his heart out for a movie that just does not deserve it.
Yeah, so I did like the line that Steve delivered to Diana when he was trying to tell her that, and I was right about this. Remember how I told you guys that in order for her to win, she was going to have to sacrifice him?
Yes.
Yeah. And I was right. So like in order for her to, and it was she reversed her wish. What did they say though? It was different.
Renounce.
Oh, renounce.
Yeah.
So, she had to renounce her wish that Steve was back. But Steve delivers a line to her. It's like something, and I'm already gone. And then they kiss, and then she walks away, like super aggressive walk away.
Yeah.
She's like, she's kind of crying, and then she just lassos into the sky or jumps into the sky, and that's where she learns to fly. But the CGI was off.
It looked running sequences are so ugly, bro. And like Flash has the same problem. Flash's stupid little stance that he does all this right here. God, I hate it. The running in DC just looks. Now this is something like I understand. It's hard to make like a superhero running look good. Like it's not easy. I get it. Like by far the best one is Quicksilver, and that's slowed down to make him look like he's just normally moving in the X-Men series. But like Wonder Woman is just extra ugly. It looks terrible, bro.
At one point she's in the car with Steve, right? And something's happening where she needs to be out of the car.
Yeah.
She like opens the door and instead of like getting up, like it looks like she just like they moved her.
It looks like
they moved her with CGI.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden now she's out of the car, running.
That's exactly how it looked. Like it was placed that way. Like she was an animated model that they just was in the car and then took it and then put it here. It didn't look like she. What he's trying to like. It didn't look like she exited the car and then proceeded to start running. It looked like an animated model.
And she was already running at the same speed a car was going, right off rip. Like
no speed up,
no speed up. Like she wasn't a little bit slower.
Yeah.
She was already moving as quick as the car. Like that's not how that would work.
No, not even.
You know what I mean? I don't care how fast you are. Maybe the Flash could do it in a certain way, but it would have to be timed perfectly. Like you need to build. You can't just go from sitting to standing and running as fast as a car.
Yeah.
Like the CGI and I agree. The CGI was a mess.
It was.
When she was flying. Like, when she had learned to fly without being in a plane or without lassoing lightning.
Which also I hated.
It looked like Christopher Reeve when he was flying as Superman. Like, her pose and the CGI around her was terrible.
So it was funny because she like, and I know Patty did this on purpose as like a shout out to superheroes. Like she tried all the different like known flying things. She was like trying different like angles, and she did the bird. First of all, the flying like shouldn't have been in the movie at all. You're gonna tell me that not one point in BVS or Justice League was it necessary for her to fly? Like we had no idea she knew how to fly. In 1984, she knows how to fly, and clearly she does it often because that's how the movie ends. It's her flying off into the sky. You gonna tell me not once in Justice League that it was necessary for her to fly? Come on, you can tell like that was not meant to happen. She jumps in Justice
League? No. Well, no, she jumps in BVS like a good distance.
Yeah.
But where
it's
so Superman's flying and like picking
Doomsday
up. She could have helped with that.
Exactly.
Like
it's clear that
continuity was off.
Yeah, it's clear that wasn't supposed to happen. It's very clear.
Patty definitely took the character in a different way, but the part of that bothers me is that Zach helped make this movie. In some fashion, he's listed as an executive producer.
Is he? I didn't notice that.
He's listed as an executive producer, and the Stone Quarry, which is his production company, was one of the ones that are shown in the beginning. Yeah. Actually, if not the only one besides Warner Brothers. It was the Stone Quarry. So he was involved, him and Deborah.
Yeah.
Something should have been worked out.
Yeah.
That like, listen, don't mess this up for us.
Yeah, that continuity.
Because the continuity's off.
Yeah.
But Jeff Johns had his grubby little fingers all over the writing of this movie. You could tell that there was like alright, so it opens up with the Amazonian Games, which are a thing in the comic books. It's their version of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. I thought that was a cool scene.
It doesn't really serve any purpose.
Well, it did. It set up the moral of the movie.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, there was two things, like the moral, and then that the car thing. She does, that flip thing. She jumps on the thing and it makes her flip.
I guess.
When I saw the car scene, it was like, okay, that's a callback to that. But like, other than those two things, like it sets up the like moral of the movie, but it was like I don't know, it was kind of unnecessary, honestly. It was cool, don't get it twisted, but it was a little unnecessary.
Okay. Agreed. Well, actually, I don't agree, but that's okay. That's beside the point. I can see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah.
Because it could have been avoided, yes.
Yeah, it just seemed extra. Like, you could.
But then Themyscira doesn't play any part after that.
Exactly.
Like, no part.
You could have displayed and made it abundantly clear the tone without all of that. It seemed like a lot to just make the tone of the movie all truth versus lies. You know what I'm saying?
But then, all of a sudden we're introduced to the present day, which is 84.
Yep.
And there's this mall heist going down.
Yeah.
And the acting was like really, like
over the top.
It was like 90s like not sitcom, 90s like comedy.
The best comparison that I saw was he compared it to Jingle All the Way.
Okay, yeah.
And it was
that like corny like where it's like over the top where for instance the guy when he's holding the girl over the railing.
I'm not going back.
I'm not going back.
How's that gonna help you?
Everyone's like yelling, but like it was just so corny.
Yeah, it was. And right? I think so I'm pretty sure Patty did that on purpose. She tried to give it an 80s movie vibe because it's placed in the 80s, but she missed all of the charm from 80s movies and only got the corny, cheesy part of 80s movies.
Right.
So like she missed all the good parts of 80s movies and only got the horrible, corny cheesiness of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I get what now. Thinking on that, that makes sense.
She tried to put an 80s movie vibe because because it's placed in the 80s, which I like. On paper that sounds cool,
right?
But she missed all the good parts of it.
And then the thing is, most of the DCEU movies are geared towards an older audience. Not an older audience. I don't mean.
But they're not for children.
But they're not for children. They're for people like us and older.
Yep.
Even I'd say from 14 to. However old you want to be if you're into that stuff.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
13 maybe.
Yeah.
But little kids.
Yeah.
Right? This movie was made for little kids.
It appears so. I don't think that was the intention.
No.
She was trying to make it for us, but it turned out to be for that. Like, there's a lot of like you can see that there's a lot of there's like I don't want to use the word pandering.
It's like Disney princess corny.
Yeah, like that. Like they're trying to like empower little girls, right? Like, and then pandering is honestly the best word to use, but like I don't want to because it's not like a problem. Like it's not that she shouldn't be doing that. It's just the execution was terrible. That's like the first Wonder Woman movie was like you can make a movie about a strong female character and not constantly remind us that she's a strong female character.
Right.
Like, we have eyes. You know what I'm saying? And the first Wonder Woman movie did a great job of that. A big problem with the MCU's female heroes people have is that Disney is clearly pandering. They're not doing this, there's no genuine. They're just doing it to, like, keep people happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the first Wonder Woman did an excellent job of just giving us a strong character, and that's it. Not shoving it in our face, not pandering to audience, none of that. This movie completely failed and falls on the Marvel side of it where it's just like throwing it in your face. And nobody likes that, including girls. Nobody likes that. You know, we don't want that. We can see it's Wonder Woman. We know she's strong. We know she's a girl. Her name's Wonder Woman. You don't have to remind us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so what I was saying was the tone just didn't match the overall DCEU as of right now. And the direction they're going, Black Adam, Suicide Squad. It just felt out of place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very lackluster.
Yep.
And I don't know if Warner Brothers altered things or made Patty make it this way.
Yep.
But even Shazam had the comedy.
Yep.
But it was also a good movie.
I was going to say that. You mentioned the overall tone, and Shazam isn't that same tone, but it still fits. There's still a place for it in the big picture.
Yes.
Wonder Woman 84 does not have a place in this big picture. Whether I like the big picture or not, Wonder Woman 84 is so incredibly out of place that it just... And I was 100% right in saying it doesn't serve the big picture at all. If anything, it damages it with the whole flying thing and continuity little errors there, here and there.
Maybe Flashpoint's going to have to retcon that movie right out of existence.
Yeah, Flashpoint's going to... And see, this is why I'm going to win this bet, I'm telling you. Because Flashpoint has so much to fix. The whole point of Flashpoint is just to fix everything they've done wrong thus far. Spider-Man 3 is not that. Spider-Man 3 is not their chance to fix what they messed up. Spider-Man 3 is just its movie. Flashpoint seems like just an eraser, essentially.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On a marker board.
Right. But... so overall, I believe I gave the movie a 5.4.
Yeah. No, you said 5.6 because we had
the movie theater 5 and 6.
Yeah.
All right, so 5.6
yeah.
Is what I gave the movie, and I believe you just gave it a quick 5.
Yeah, I'm going to drop that down to 3.
A 3?
Yeah, because I didn't enjoy anything with the exception of Pedro Pascal. Okay, so, and I wanted to talk about this too. The suit, right? The armor, the golden armor. They make it abundantly clear that the whole point of the armor was because, homegirl that was wearing it to begin with doesn't have, superpowers or anything, and she had a lot going on, right? She's being attacked by what's essentially the entire world's army, right? So the armor is strong enough to withhold that much damage, right? So I thought the whole point was, Wonder Woman doesn't have her powers for a certain point of the movie. So I thought the whole point of going to get the armor was because she doesn't have her powers.
Right.
She gets her powers back and then puts on the armor. The hell do you need the armor for?
Yeah, okay.
What do you need the armor for?
Okay. Again, I'm with you on this because I thought the armor, like you said, when she loses her powers, I thought the armor was going to serve as her way of
protecting herself. Because she's not a superhero
Because she's not a superhero.
Nah,
that's not the way they went.
What?
And then...
You're going to tell me real quick, you're going to tell me she could take on Doomsday in a miniskirt, but she can't take on Cheetah without some golden, powerful armor? Come on, Doug. Come on.
The golden armor did not serve much of a purpose.
Any purpose whatsoever. She immediately took off the wings.
And so if you remember, the Asteria, who's later we find out is played by Linda Carter.
Yeah. Fan service.
She's battling the armies of men. They have her surrounded, and they're chopping her down with swords and stuff. Doing nothing to the armor, right?
Mind you, hundreds of them.
Hundreds, if not thousands of them, chopping away at her.
Yep.
Not doing a damn thing to the armor.
Yep.
Cheetah comes by,
tears it apart.
Tears that shit apart.
Now, mind you, you can't even see. Like, I was specifically looking because she did that, and I thought the same thing at the time. So I'm looking at her claws, and they look like normal nails. Like Logan has sharper claws than Cheetah does in this movie. How is she tearing apart this? I'm so glad you brought that up.
But
that bothered the shit out of me.
So, moral of the story is,
this movie sucks.
This movie sucked.
It's bad. It's bad.
It did, and I don't want to say sucked because like there are good parts, like with Pedro. Pedro did a good job at delivering his performance.
Yeah.
I even thought Kristen Wiig didn't do a bad job with what she was given. I like that they didn't use a lot of CGI until the third act. She doesn't really become
Cheetah.
Full Cheetah. She has the powers and stuff for a while. But she doesn't become full Cheetah until a second wish is granted by Maxwell Lord.
It doesn't look very good.
No, it didn't.
Cheetahs, I don't like it.
You know, I think practical effects are gonna start making a comeback. Because of all the problems with the CGI for right now. Unless CGI can, you know.
It's too heavily
It's crazy that they can do a story like Mandalorian and have all that great CGI, but then they make Cheetah look like you know she's a PlayStation 1 game.
Cutscene. It doesn't look good, and I think it boils down to like lighting. Honestly, when it comes to CGI, I think when you directly put a light to something that is 100% CGI, that's why we notice all the flaws and why it's so ugly and why it doesn't look so great. So I think the best CGI work I've ever seen is like not in a dark setting, but in a shadowed setting. You know what I'm saying? And Mandalorian's kind of overall, like it's not shadowed per se, but like their overall like tone, like palette wise or like look wise is on the darker end. Like for example, when you take a photo on Instagram, one of the editing options is warmth, right? And you can make it cooler or make it brighter, right? And Mandalorian seems to be on the cooler end of that, so it's a darker tone. You can't really notice. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you put it to the brighter end, that's when you can notice all the ugly CGI problems. And I think that's where it's either like with these movies, it's either complete darkness or too much lighting, and that's why it always looks ugly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. So as we said, the post-credit scene. Maxwell Lord, by the way.
He was written well.
He was written well.
Yeah.
But like he didn't scare me. Like he didn't seem like a threat to Diana. Cheetah was kind of a threat to Diana, and I guess that's who was the immediate threat.
Yeah.
While Max is almost like ending the world with all that stuff, but. Max did a good job at being Max. Max, you know what I mean? Like, that's Maxwell Lord. He's very selfish, very egotistical, and he wants everything for himself.
Yeah. Got a point to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Cheetah kind of just wants to get back at Wonder Woman because she's jealous. That aspect of the film was done good.
Yeah.
Done well. But there was so many other problems that it takes the spotlight away from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The post-credit scene, we see Asteria, played by Linda Carter.
Yep.
The funny thing is, and I was talking about it last night, is so Linda Carter actually played the president of the United States in Supergirl. We later find out that she's a shape-shifting alien.
Oh, she's a Skrull.
She's not a Skrull. It's a different race.
Yeah, I know.
But we find out that she's a shape-shifting alien, right? And then, so Ezra Miller's Flash has crossed into the CW Arrowverse, which Supergirl is in, connecting those two, right? So then, now we know that the 70s Wonder Woman show is also in canon because they're going to connect all the multiverse. So could Linda Carter actually be a part of the multiverse in 3 different ways? I think it kind of that was like the only thing that led people to talking. Like, oh, maybe she could be, you know, an alien.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's it. That's all we got to talk about. That's sad. That's just sad.
But yeah, so I mean, not much going on in this film.
This movie
let us know though what in the comments what you guys thought of the movie.
Please do.
If you liked it.
Please
what
go,
you liked about it.
Yes, in detail. I don't want just like it was cool. No, I want detail as to why you like this movie because I saw nothing, and so I want to know. I want to know. If you have the audacity to tell me this movie was fun, I want to know why.
Yes. And if you didn't like it, also let us know why.
Yeah.
Always, guys, please get in the comments.
You know
we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
This is not a request, it's a demand.
You have no choice.
You have no choice in this.
Get in the comments.
Let us know what you guys want to talk about. We want to engage with you.
Yeah.
That whole Batman thing that we did today, that was from someone who asked me a question.
Yeah.
And I said, let's talk about it.
Most definitely.
And I think we did talk about it in depth. And there's more where that came from. Guys, we're excited to tell you what the next big thing is every single time. We have so much in the works, so much we're gearing up for, and a lot of treats for everybody that has supported us. With that being said, that is the end of today's show.
We gotta do Black Label now.
That'll wrap up this week. We had a good week, had a show. So we started off Monday with T-Vi's TV Time. Wednesday we did a quick dip. Friday we did the Showcase Cinemas special event, Christmas Day holiday special.
You know it.
Jack and I did a live stream last night. We were just talking, just hanging out. And then, today's show. So we're super excited. We're always coming at you with different stuff. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you
Snapchat,
name it.
We're there.
Yep.
Google Plus, everything.
Yep,
We're
all
on
of
everything.
it.
We're on everything.
And also, if you want to take the show on the go, while you're cleaning your house, while you're in your car, on your way to work, on your way to get gas, with your friends, just looking for something to listen to.
On your way to pay child support.
Yep.
On the way to visit your sick grandma.
Yep.
On your way to renew your immigration card.
Whatever. Whatever.
On your way to visit your probation officer.
If you're sitting in your house and you should be cleaning it,
but you're not.
But you don't want to, you guys can play us, just the audio, on all major podcast platforms. We're on damn near every single one of them. You can just play the show and go about your day. It's very easy. Follow the show. And we have an option through our anchor page. Through our anchor page. Podbean. Where you can, help the show out with a small monthly donation. $1, $5, or $10. And it's a recurring monthly donation, or you can do a one-time donation, and it all goes towards upgrading equipment,
making the show better.
Making the show better. Yeah.
So I can quit my job and do this full time.
Yeah.
Until that day, I still have to work a job. He has to work a job, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we also just launched our merchandise on Teespring. I will link it in the description. And guess what else?
Chicken butt.
We've also did a beta launch for our website. It's still in the works.
Yeah,
it's still being worked on, but it is a beta launch. It is out there. There's a couple articles. We're working on it, and we're currently fixing it up. I'll put every single link in the description, guys. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. And if you're returning, we do it for you.
We do it for the culture. Holla.
Thank you.
Do it for you, and we do it for the culture.